Hey, YouTube world, we are back. Hope you are having a fantabulous day so far. Again, download, rate, review, subscribe on all of our various platforms. We are giving out a lot of content, even in these pandemic-starved times. So, I was talking about this a little bit the day before. Baseball's officially back without much of a plan in place other than what was already reported in March, i.e., we went through the last 5 weeks of the baseball season, or of the baseball negotiations, and it really tore at the hearts of some of the fans. And it was dragging the loyal fans of the sport through the mud as part of a messy labor negotiation. And in the end, we get the same place we were at in March, and just some bad tensions all around, mutually assured destruction, as Buster Olney described it, coming in March and in April when they have to start renegotiating again. But one thing that we can obviously assure now is that baseball going forward, they're testing the patience of their fan base. And myself, I'm a loyal baseball fan. I've always been a loyal baseball fan, and for many, many years I will continue to be a loyal baseball fan. But they really are testing the patience of the consumer at this point, because a lot of the decision-making process that we saw over the last few weeks was frustrating at best and industry-destroying at worst, because going through 5 weeks of intense labor negotiations is never really a great method for the success and long-term prosperity of your sport. Especially considering with the pandemic-starved times and their chance to play baseball on July 4th, which is officially now about a week and a half away. It was a frustrating time overall, a lot of wasted time that was really necessary, and it really showed what position the sport is in going forward. And it's not a good position. Baseball is slowly becoming obsolete in the American sports landscape. And that's not a controversial opinion, like all the signs are there, unfortunately. But something that we're going to see going forward is the fact that baseball is going to get their shortened season. Yes, it's going to be fun because it's going to be random. Yes, we're only going to get 10 playoff teams instead of 16. And yes, the season might not even happen because of coronavirus. All of those legitimate possibilities, legitimate concerns, etc., etc. But one thing that we can bank on as baseball fans is knowing that some things never change. And I love baseball. Again, I'm a young person who loves baseball. A lot of the people who are my age, younger than me, barely older than me, they don't like baseball. They don't like it at all. Even when the World Series comes around, they don't watch it. They don't even pay attention to it. As much as sports are becoming obsolete as a whole for the general population of America, and maybe that's not fair enough because some people are casual sports fans, and casual sports fandom is still an okay thing. It's just not as much as the 6 million people who were desperate enough to watch Tiger versus Phil, the match, about a month ago. Somehow that was a month ago. I couldn't really believe that. It's weird to think about, but still. Casual sports fandom is slowly becoming obsolete as there's just simply more options available to you for your entertainment. And as a result, baseball, well, we know that their population is aging. Over the last 10 years, the average age of a baseball fan has aged 9.5 years, which means it's just everyone getting older. And they're the signs of something worse to come. And the pandemic, as we've seen in all kinds of industries, has sped up this process of industries either falling apart or industries continuing to be obsolete. And what we're seeing now is that it's sped up the process for baseball because it just exacerbated the problems that they already had. Yes, they're still going to get a season. Yes, no one's crying poverty at this point in terms of ownership and franchise valuations. And none of the players are really crying poverty either, even the ones who were living paycheck to paycheck for the last 4 months without any money coming in. But the overriding point still stands that we find ourselves in a tough position where power in the country is always at question, and power within baseball is very much in question, because who who is baseball to come out and demand the fan interest? There's no way that's going to happen, because here you have the players being collectively pissed off, owners being collectively pissed off, and dragging the fans in the middle. So, like I said in my article, and like I've been saying on the podcast, I will be a baseball fan forever. But you can put a little asterisk next to it, because baseball is really testing my patience. And I can tell from when I was 13 years old and baseball was the sport of my childhood, things have changed. Football and basketball and college sports as a whole, they're just more interesting to me than baseball at times. But I still love baseball no matter what. I still watch the sport consistently. I'll still be able to talk about it here and sound really, really smart doing it. And again, everyone who does these kinds of things just sounds really, really smart. Sometimes they're informed, but they just make it sound very, very smart when they discuss. That's a little word to the wise. But again, I love the sport almost no matter what, but they're really testing my patience. And the fact that they dragged me through these last 5 weeks as a loyal baseball fan, it really sucks. And I will not fall for it again, which is already a bad enough issue, is when you sow distrust between the product that they are delivering and the MLB's connection to the fans. When there's distrust there, some mess up, some major mess up can really damage the foundation of the relationship going forward, which it already did for some people during the whole PED scandal. If you think what I'm saying is complete crap, this happened during the PED scandal in baseball. This happened immediately following the '94 strike, which canceled the baseball season. Like, we've seen these things happen before. Once you create distrust among a certain fan base, they are not going to hang on when you break that trust again or make them pissed off. Or, in the case of the last 5 weeks to really 3 months, drag the fan base through the mud and put them right in the middle of an ugly labor negotiation.